What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to a new video. I go by the name of Twanelo for those who don't already know. At that goal 20 on all my social media platforms. I'm so excited to have you guys back here. Today's video is actually inspired, or should I say influenced, by this notion that South African music videos always fall short of, the storytelling elements, some gist, some juice. It's always the basic stuff that we're always seeing, such as this tweet right here, right? There's been tweets, articles about this notion that agree with this statement actually, and that is what we're going to unpack. We're going to look into the history of our music videos, the different types of music videos that you can get, what makes a music video great, and lastly we're going to look into these three particular artists: Shane Eagle, Rogue, and Casper according to their consistent approach when it comes to their music videos. They are known to really bring it.
Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipes, blue lights out of sight, long way so in.
Let's get into the history. We cannot talk about the history of music videos without mentioning MTV, which was a global phenomenon. A TV station known to play music for 24 hours, giving artists the platform to be an extension of more than just the music. Fashion icons came out of these times, trends started over here. Now, developing countries like ourselves were also aspiring to live up to these standards. However, progress was slow because of our historical context. Financial problems were evident, along with not having access to these advancements to broadcast. We also have to consider the fact that we have a diverse country. It was inevitable for the Western culture to influence us as well. We see it through hip-hop. Hip-hop music videos started to shift away from the storytelling element and started to focus on the aspiring, lavish lifestyle. Now, this is where the trope of having women within these music videos was questioned. This is a reoccurring thing that we have been seeing. As time evolved, there has been a shift from this trope, and there's now a new wave of storytelling, which we're going to get into. I came across an article that said this might be the golden era for our music videos because of directors such as Nkululeko, Carl Lewis, Nate Thomas, Billy Motion, just to name a few, for their innovative, conceptualized, high-end music videos. There is hope. Now let's look into the different types of music videos that we do get. So we get your performance, which is one of the oldest forms of music videos since the beginning of the time. Artists here would perform playing their instruments. There's elements of dancing, lip singing. Sometimes it would be the actual performances at the concerts with fans. And then we also have your narrative music video. It's a short story revolving around the lyrics and the song in itself. So there's a beginning, middle, and end. You get your different types. So you have your illustration, your amplified, and your disjunction. So your illustration is a depiction of what the lyrics are actually saying, so it's like mirroring the lyric. With amplification, the lyrics are closely connected to the music video. They can have complementary scenes relating to the themes and amplify the song's music. Lastly, your disjunction. The narrative becomes detached from the song's meaning, and the director chooses to create a new one. So on the first viewing, you might not be able to make sense of the video. We also have the concept of music video. These videos are without a storyline, and typically they have no relevance to the lyrics themselves. Usually this is based around the artist's vision, and they include a performance or narrative structure so that the audience doesn't get lost. What makes these types of videos exciting to watch is the fact that it makes the audience engage and try to figure out what the artist is trying to communicate. You get your two different types. Your thematic just basically means that the theme is based around the genre or the song's meaning, and it can be represented through location or a specific color. The symbolic would be made out of different forms that build meaning with each other. There's a lot of fast shots in these and utilize lighting. Yellow verse is basically like a short story. The concept is he travels to different types of planets. He's a hip-hop hero within that whole scenario as well. His love also for different locations speaks within Yellow verse. Let's move over to your lyric music video. Back in the days, these ones were created by fans. YouTube made it possible for this to happen, right? People would create these lyric videos to popular songs through Windows Video Maker, not necessarily people who have the rights to the song. And then later on, the industry started to adapt them and made them a full-on creative music videos. And they are also great for low budget, or if the artist is not available at the time or anything like that, or they don't want to have a full-on music video. And then lastly, we have animation. This is your 2D, stop motion, CGI music videos. Now, there's no straight answer to this one because it all comes down to it being subjective. We have our different tastes, but there is a certain standard that needs to be met. It has to be visually pleasing, it has to be eye-catching, and as I mentioned, the different types of music videos that you get, some form of that structure should also be set in place to make it a great listening and visual experience. Shane Eagle is known to have high art music videos, very present and involved in his own projects. He has a long-standing relationship with side effects. Most of the times within his music videos, there's a sense of his own personality, his own real life influences, such as childhood cartoons, video games. He also has a visual album out. We're going to look into the music video for Julia. It starts off with a scene where he's eating these Fruit Loops. He's watching Courage the Cowardly Dog in the early 2000s. That's when it was released on Cartoon Network. This was not like your typical cartoon. There were elements that were horror filled, and Courage finds a home in Muriel and Eustace's house, living on an isolated space. In each episode, there's some form of disturbance or distractions that comes through. So the husband is not the nicest when it comes to Courage because he comes off as aggressive and jealous. What he's watching in this scene, it looks like Eustace is like shouting at Courage. For my personal interpretation, Courage the Cowardly Dog was the metaphoric representation of setting up the themes he expresses throughout his song. After that scene, it cuts to black and white. It intercuts between the VHS filter. The black and white just represents the emotional distress of the themes that he's communicating within the song, where he talks about his community and the daily struggles. Very relatable themes here. I tried to figure out what Julia means, and it is noted that his mother's name is actually Julia, but he hasn't confirmed it has any relation to her. So that is so poetic, and shout out to him. I felt like that is some very deep way to visualize this song. We're gonna look at Rogue. She's also being praised for her visual works. Bongo Zaga is a colorful, neon-filled party that I felt like I want to be part of, right? So here she just pays homage to women in general, to build your empire. And I just love the editing here. It's visually striking. And One by One is also another favorite of mine. And then lastly, we're going to look into Casper's Destiny. Casper is also known to be, as we all know, man, he always has these high-end music videos that we are hyped for. Here we see it's a sci-fi music video. Here he's the scientist. He creates this artificial intelligent lady. We visit the past where he creates her. We go into the present where he's bedridden of old age. The clinical field that we see represent a relationship that just came to an end. This concept you see in Ex Machine as well. I just enjoy the technological advancement here. The personal one also that I love, he said it's one of his best works as well, is Malume. It's so nostalgic. You're aspiring to reach your dreams. I think he worked with Nkululeko, if I'm not incorrect. So you can also see just his own genes within these different types of music videos and approaches that he recurrently uses. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you're still watching up to this end, if you have music videos that you would like me to check out, please do let me know. I would love to see them and check them out for myself. Please do not forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.